Three, two, one.
今夜もミュージックトレイン君へのラッキートレイン笑い合って抱き合って幸せにほらなれるように
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weeb Club. It is I, President WattheWut. That's
you
right.
might fucking be now because I don't want to make any executive decision. Look, we were originally supposed to start. Okay, so I'm gonna give my times. I'm in Central Time with the cool time.
Yeah,
We
go
were
ahead.
originally supposed to start recording at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes. Craftsdwarf says, "Oh, I can't do it till 8:30. I need to go get fucking Burger King." Okay.
I
now he's
didn't
off at
go
Burger
shove
King.
mid in my mouth for $15.
Well, we're about to talk about worse for another hour and a half. But then he was like, it'll be 8:30. It is now 8:36. The man's not here. We're doing a two-man show where we roast him as opposed to actually talk about something that would be worse for everyone.
Yeah. So, Vindy, what do you hate about Craftsdwarf?
That he would eat at a place like Burger King.
Okay.
It's $149 for 10 nuggets, and that's too expensive.
It was like $5 for that fucking shitty thing of like chicken fries, and there's only like 4 in there, and they're like, "Here you go," like it's big shit, and you eat it, and you're like, "This is the driest thing I've ever fucking eaten. What the fuck is this?"
They used to have these Cheetos mac and cheese bites. That's what they were. So they had these Cheetos mac and cheese bites for a while, where it was like a Cheeto and like there was like mac and cheese inside at Burger King. I'm pretty sure I had those one time. They were okay. That was probably the best thing I've ever had.
Their burgers
Because-
are like they're like bland. I don't know why. They're
Yeah.
not good.
No, they suck. Their burgers are terrible. Look, this doesn't apply to Craftsdwarf because that man is the skinniest man I've ever seen in my life. But Burger King has always been the fat people's fast food to me. Like the only people who eat at Burger King are like obese, like 8 trillion pound people, because everyone else
my God.
has enough standards that they'll go to a fast food place that's actually delicious.
Oh my god. Oh my look, Vindy. I before I ate at a Burger King at an airport, I have not eaten Burger King since like 2006, and that was like there used to be a Burger King by where I lived, and it got shut down.
No, the last time I had a Burger King was when I was in LA for AX. The Airbnb we were at on the bottom floor of the apartment building, there was a Burger King. And one day, me and the 2 guys I was with, you know what? It was actually the day that we ate at Tom's Urban.
Oh
that
yeah.
Me and Krause ate at Tom's Urban. We got back and we were just like so tired that we didn't want to walk anymore because that was the day we were supposed to go see Premiere. Yeah. So we got back and we just like ordered Uber Eats like 80 Burger King nuggets. And then they didn't even eat any of them, so I had like 60 nuggets.
Why would you do that?
And like 2 large fries because we had a nugget party. But then I had like 60 nuggets in one sitting, and then my head started to hurt, and I just laid down and watched Guilty Crown.
You went to torture yourself, and then you went to watch something to torture yourself some more.
Yeah, we watched Guilty Crown. We saw Dan Eagleman, the hero. Like we watched I think we watched the first 4 episodes, and then skipped to when Dan Eagleman showed up. And then skipped to when Dan Eagleman died, and then said we had watched Guilty Crown.
Guilty Crown has one of the best Hiroyuki Sawano scores, and that's very frustrating because the show is garbage.
Well, what made us mad? Oh my god, I remember because we were originally going to watch the SAO movie, but one of the guys hadn't seen SAO 2, so we couldn't watch the full movie. So like we had to go, like me and one guy had to go to the bottom floor to grab our food, and we told the other guy, we were like, look, skip to the Asuna titty scene. We'll come back, we'll see Asuna's nipple, and then we'll eat our food. But he couldn't find it, so he didn't get to see naked Asuna.
Is he retarded?
It was on Hulu, so I don't know if they have it on the Hulu release, but he said he looked through it and didn't see it, so I'm still mad.
Oh my god, Craftsdwarf's gonna see this. Just see that we're fucking recording and just keep fucking adding until he joins.
Look,
yeah,
Nanmaji, I hope you put all of this in the episode because this is
Nanmaji,
podcast gold.
Nanmaji, if you do not fucking put this in the episode, I'm gonna tell everyone that you're black. Anyway,
God.
Man.
At what point do we just start talking about Anohana? Because like I don't want to talk about it yet, obviously, because I want to wait for
I
Craftsdwarf.
want to fucking talk about it. Oh,
but
boy.
I also really want to talk about it.
Man.
I say we wait another 5 minutes. If he's not here by
He's literally
8:45
green. I see his stupid fucking icon.
Oh
the
yeah, he'll
version
join in a
Craftsdwarf.
second. He'll join in a second.
Keep adding him. Keep adding him until he fucking joins, this stupid bitch.
He's typing. He's typing. He probably just got home.
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep...
And take out the trash.
Oh my god, he has to take himself out. Oh, I'm Big Baby. Oh, I'm Big Baby.
Namaji, I need you to put the text that we're talking on the screen.
Right. We should probably tell him after we record this that he needs to screen cap this because
yeah. So make sure you go to the Weeb Club thing and like screen cap our the conversation and put it on the screen so you can see what we're laughing at. But
look at me, I am Beard Man. I must take out the trash for Burger King.
What's really sad is they're gonna have no idea what we're laughing about. But okay, Anohana is a show. You know, actually, you know what? Let's just say, you know what? I have something we could do. So by this point, hopefully, by the time this is up, episode 1 at least of our seasonal discussion will be up.
Yeah.
So what do you think you'll think of the 3 shows we're watching, even though you know nothing about Babylon?
I'm gonna be completely like my mind's gonna be turned off when watching Boku no Mid Academia.
But it's the good arc. It's the good arc.
It is the good arc, yeah. But my mind will be blank because I can't watch something if I already read it. And that's the thing that's the problem with me. I can't watch something if I already read it. The only exception, of course, being Koi no Katachi. But whatever. But also Beastars, I think kill some furries because I already watched Zootopia. And then I don't know what the fuck Babylon is.
Okay. So. What's funny is you said the Zootopia thing. I've legitimately called to try to shill Beastars. I've called it good Zootopia.
No.
Because like I actually think that like what Beastars is about is because like you know Zootopia tries to do its themes, but it like mixes them up and doesn't make sense and it's kind of racist when you think about it. I think Beastars is like what Zootopia tried to be, but it's actually good with its message.
Do they fuck?
Well, the main wolf boy wants to fuck a rabbit lady, so.
Oh, relatable. Have you seen those Judy Hopps hentai? What?
I've seen some of it on Twitter, but I don't. It doesn't make me feel anything.
I haven't actually seen any, but you have, it seems.
It just shows up on Twitter sometimes. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like,
yeah. Numanji, I want you to take
Stop
a picture
retweeting
right
Judy Hopps hentai.
I want Numanji. I want you to take a picture of Vindy and have him holding a Judy Hopps body pillow. I want you to do that. When this episode goes up. Right now on the screen. Audience, I hope you're looking right now. You see it? You see it on the screen? Yeah, that's Vindy. You know what he's gonna do? He's just gonna fucking get Sid the Rat from Flushed Away. He's gonna put him with the.
He's gonna put Sid holding a Judy Hopps pillow. Oh no! Or he'll use my my Twitch emote. That's like the face. That's the emote in all these servers.
Dude, we're the ones who made that emote, and you were like mad because we did it, and now it's great. Now you're all think it's great because it is the best emote ever made.
Well, because I was like, it's a good emote, but I was like, I wasn't even mad. I was just because like it was one of those things where I looked in the Craftsdwarf server because the icon was my face, and I used to never talk in the server. I was like, why the fuck is the icon in the Craftsdwarf server my fucking face? And I joined, and everyone's name had Vindy in it, and y'all were just spamming the emote. And I was like, why the fuck have I become a meme in this server? And then I was looking for a new Twitch emote, and Namaj was like, you should do this one. I was like, that's actually really fucking good. I'll do it.
It's a great face because it just expresses so much emotion. It's just like the most fucking like it's a fucking great reaction.
I don't know was it Namaji's screen cap because it fucking slaps.
Yeah, it's Namaji's screen cap. He has like a bunch of screen caps of you, and honestly, it's a little weird to Namaji a bunch of screen caps of Vinny Vondo here. It's a little weird. It's a little concerning that you have pictures of
it's
him.
funny.
You look at them every night. Do you look at them every night before you go to bed? You give yourself a little touch me session every time you see some Vindy pictures, Namanji. Why don't you be honest with us right now? I love how long have we been recording and we haven't talked about Anohana because Craftsdwarf's not here.
It's been 10 minutes now. 1 second.
10 minutes of this episode is going to be.
Craftsdwarf's still dead. He's taking the trash out.
We'll
come back and we'll talk about kids on the slope.
All right, guys. So anyway, today we're gonna be talking about kids on the slope, and I gotta say, it's pretty gay. As not
fucking
like,
hot, dude.
It's like really gay. Like these boys practically butt fuck each other by episode.
Oh my god, I can't wait to watch it.
Oh my god.
Man, we have fun on the Weeb Club.
We do.
I love this podcast.
The jokes are faster paced and okay.
Well, it's because we're not look, I'm not gonna directly call anyone out by name, but we're not people who will do a podcast and make a joke and then stop and wait for everyone to laugh, and then nobody laughs and we just stop and sit there as crickets start to chirp and years pass and no one's talked.
Namanji, this is now a BSA episode. Play the intro right now. All right, today we're hey guys, welcome to another episode of the BSA. Ass crack.
I'm Mr. Meat Man.
No, this isn't a BSA episode because somebody laughed. Hold on, we gotta do this again.
We have to.
Hey guys, welcome to the BSA. I hate minorities.
I'm Natty.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm Mr. Cynical. I think shonen is beneath me. We gotta stop. We're gonna make people mad. I gotta stop doing this.
Look, we're already gonna make people mad because it's shitting on Anohana and everybody loves Anohana. So we're already...
No, if you look, I'm just gonna say this right now. If you love Anohana, you've never had a person in your life actually die. That's just how it fucking goes.
If you love Anohana, you probably also dress up as your wife would run through the forest.
God, look, it was an interesting show. I'll give it to that.
If you love Anohana, you have bad taste in lollies. I'm just gonna say that out right now. If you like Anohana and you like the lolly in Anohana, you actually deserve to be arrested. True. Not because you're a pedophile, but because you have shit taste in lollies.
Oh my god, we can actually talk about the show after 12 minutes of podcast.
I hate Craftsdwarf. Craftsdwarf sucks. I hate Craftsdwarf. Craftsdwarf sucks.
On. He's deafened.
Stupid. Namanji, I want you to it's too late. Now he's unmuted. Now we can't. It's too late for me to do the joke. I was gonna say screen cap Craftsdwarf, and he's got his fucking he's fucking deafened, so he can't talk or hear us.
Look.
I can't look at you. We're talking.
To look at yourselves and ask yourselves, how are we somehow worse than the Super Beast Busters? You abandoned a friend.
Well, the Super Beast Busters are just the shitty little busters.
And you're
worse. The greatest piece of media of all time. We didn't abandon you. We were waiting. We were waiting in the secret clubhouse for you to come. You were just late, okay?
Welcome
already started her apology.
You said you started recording.
Craftsdwarf.
Yeah, we did. But we didn't we haven't talked about Anohana once. All we've done is shoot the shit for 12 minutes.
How do you really feel about Vindy?
He's toxic and like.
Whoa! I am not the T word.
This is now the part where Craftsdwarf blushes and then angrily runs out of the clubhouse, and then Vindy falls down a fucking hill and dies.
So, can we just really quickly I already talked to what about this Craftsdwarf.
Let's just give our quick thoughts so we can.
So I want to get to spoilers as soon as possible because I don't want to have to mask what I'm trying to say about the show around spoilers.
Or not?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been going for 12 minutes, but we have not talked about Anohana once.
Then what's the point?
It's been funny.
The point, Craftsdwarf, is that some of the funniest shit that has ever happened on this podcast has just happened recently while you were gone.
Actually, I completely agree. Like some of the best jokes, like it was actually really funny. So we should keep it in.
Okay, I don't believe you, but okay, I don't.
Why hasn't Vindy fallen down the hill yet into the water as Popo watches his body float away?
God,
Oh,
I love Popo.
spoiler.
Okay, so can we
Actually, fucking talk about the show. Did you guys already mention what we're watching next time?
we did actually say Kids on the Slope. Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
so we're watching Kids on the Slope next. We're gonna watch two boys ass fuck each other on screen. It's gonna be epic.
Yes. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Anyway, Anohana, I watched the show before. I didn't like it, and then I made a video about it. Kind of. I mentioned it for like 12 seconds. What? You watched it before, you fucking loved it, and now you watched it again. How do you feel?
Let's just say, Craftsdwarf, when I watched Anohana again for the first time since high school, I said to myself, would I run through the forest dressed up as my waifu?
Yes, you would.
No, I
If you got
wouldn't.
10,000
Yeah.
subs before
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's
and
true. You know,
Not
never mind. The
10,
show's,
but you
you
would.
know, never
you
mind.
would.
The show's a 10 out of 10. Never mind. My bad.
Also,
Whoopsies!
technically, isn't that a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler if it's funny and everybody talks about it.
I would say it's not a spoiler
Well,
because
the
it's
whole
before the
show is
halfway point of the
funny.
show.
Well,
The
not
whole
really.
show is not funny.
Most of it is fucking boring. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's funny. Then the last episode made me cry, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It
Oh my
has-
god. Okay, the show made all three of us cry, and I don't know
What
about
the
you, but
fuck?
What and I are mad about it. I'm actually mad it made me cry. It did not deserve that shit.
I'm just baffled, honestly, because no, it's fun. Well, we'll get to that because the last episode was like one of the weirdest experiences I've had. Like, because when I first watched the show, there was a part where like my emotions started to build up, and then something happened. And I laughed, and then I was like not caring for the rest of the episode. But this time it was back and forth. Like I was laughing, and then I was crying, and then I was laughing again, and then I was crying, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You see, viewers, the problem was Craftsdwarf was watching the show and was very conflicted about hating it, but also realizing he wanted to fuck all the kids. This was a problem, you see, for our dear
Only Naru.
former president.
Naru.
Anaru.
Oh, Anaru. God, I want to drink her pee.
Did you guys know that Anaru is actually just Japanese for anal, and that's why she doesn't like being called Anaru?
Dude.
That's funny. Oh my god, I didn't realize that.
I heard
I
there was
wanna
a
give
dojin
honor
where
to
I heard there was a
yes.
dojin where the main boy, cool guy extraordinaire, Chad boy, that everyone loves for some reason, fucks the ghost lolly and then goes and does anal with the gamer girl.
Yes, I read that dojin after watching the show, and I was significantly more entertained reading this dojin than I was watching the show. And then I read another dojin with Anaru solely Anaru, and they had some Anaru, and it was great. I loved it. I would rate this dojin a 9 out of 10.
So better than the show.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Okay, and I've never seen the show before. To get back to that train of thought,
And, then
and
you
I thought it
fucking hated
was actually okay.
Oh, okay.
So
You
I'll
hated
just-
it first. Okay, so that's
So here's how I feel about the show. I think that there's like kind of two. Okay, so I think that the part of the show that's about like selfishness is like a 6 at best, if I was being generous.
Isn't that the whole thing?
No, because the part of the show that's about dealing with a loss is a 1. And no one in Mario Kata's life has ever died. And anyone who likes the show for dealing with loss has never had anyone die in their life. And that's just the facts.
I think. Well, the only thing Mario Kata that I know about is Sakura So and Toradora, which are both great. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So I
Wasn't
don't
this also
understand-
Mario Kata?
Yes, it was. So I'm very
Okay.
confused as to why this was shit.
It's shit purely because Minma isn't hot, unlike Taiga.
You see, kids, I would love to take Taiga by her long, luscious hair and grab it. So
Okay, you
these are the
lonely
words
lover.
of Craft. This is the words of Craft.
horniest
by the
what's
way.
I
ever
haven't
gonna be.
seen Toradora.
These are
I
the
feel
words of Cra-
nothing towards this show. I've not seen it.
I bet you he's lying right now.
He's
Numanji.
lying about having watched Toradora.
Not watched it. Go check my fucking Miami list.
What takes a break from Twitter and loses his fucking mind.
Numanji, I want you to post one of those lie detectors on the screen with Craftsdwarf. And every time he tells
just
a
gonna
fucking
fucking
lie about
leave.
liking
No. I want to talk about the show. Okay. So I was actually serious. Can we just like kind of quickly jump into because like
Well,
I've-
is there anything general okay? It looks like an anime. I think.
it's really generic. Okay, I will say
Okay, Anaru is hot. The OP and ED are cool, and that's about it.
Popo's good. I like Popo.
Why is the opening amazing? Fuck this show.
The opening's really good, actually. Yeah, I agree. I think I said to someone when I started watching, like, the opening's gonna be the best part of the show. And it was
No, it's not. The dojins are, but you know.
well, the dojo's not part of the show.
Exactly.
Are you sure?
So I think
Yes.
I think the
what, you
OP's
dumb.
the OP's really good. I like Popo. Like, I think Popo is actually a
He's
good
like-
character. He's the
I
only
thought
character
Naruto-
that makes sense.
Yeah, his whole thing is great. He has like his whole character, and then like when you find out like the truth, it's like amazing. And it's like it's the same that it happens in like.
He's
No,
the only
that's-
character that I buy as a real person.
No,
Well,
Jintan's
that's
a real
stupid
person.
because all characters are fictional. So shut up. Anyway,
No, Jintan's a real person.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
He's the coolest.
And then I think Honoru is really cute.
I mean,
I think- okay.
like every time she cried, I ended up laughing. But other than that, I'd say Naruto is probably my second favorite.
There are enough scenes of her laying in her bed with her ass drawn very prominently that she's worth existing.
Anoru is way hotter with her hair down and glasses on, and that is a fact.
Yes, that is true.
And the
is
rest of
very
the
hot.
characters
You like her
just
twin
exist,
tails.
and I don't care about everyone else. So whatever.
What's the other thing I wanted to say? There's one more thing I wanted to say about it, but I can't remember it. Give me a second. I'll remember it in literally a split second. I'll remember it.
It's racist against tens.
Yes.
I think that some of the framing. So I'm gonna leave spoilers out of this. I think some of the shots in the last episode, especially, were actually kind of stood out to me as pretty good. I think besides that, the show's really, really bland visually. There are some times where there's like really weird like Sakuga where like it's really well animated
Dude,
for
I
no
know.
reason.
See, the one that like sticks out to me is in the first episode when Menma is about to fall and Jinta like reaches out his hand, and it fucking made me bust out laughing because it's so well done, but it's like completely out of place and it's like over the top and it's funny.
There's one in one of the later episodes where Minma's like stroking Jintan's hair, and it is like the most over-exaggerated.
I honestly thought that was gonna go somewhere else.
It was like the most
You watched the show
over-exaggerated
before.
hair
Shut the fuck up.
stroking
What?
I've ever seen. Like, her hand has like all these little movements just for him to run her hand through his hair like 2 times, and I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And then
okay.
also they're called the Super Peace Busters, and there's this one point where it's the exact same shot as one of the best CGs in Little Busters, and so the whole thing is just a shitty Little Busters. Little Busters is better. Go read Little Busters. Don't watch this shitty fucking
Stop
stuff.
talking. You made me mad again because I'm gonna. So I recently watched a Mother's Basement video about how amazing Anohana is, and he starts talking about how the first episode has a lot of subtle hints and how like it's very, very cleverly well done. Let me tell you what happens in the first episode. This isn't a spoiler because it's the first 4 fucking minutes of the first episode. Here's what happens. Jintan is playing video games because he's an epic gamer incel who has been thrust out of society.
Honor is actually hot.
I just
Okay,
realized,
shut up.
okay.
Wait.
Go on,
Let
actually.
me finish this.
Yeah,
So, she just shows up for no reason. Menma shows up for no reason, starts hitting him, and he just ignores her for a bit, and then goes downstairs, but she still hits him. And this happens for a little bit. He wants ramen. He wants ramen. He keeps talking about like, oh, haha, I must be hallucinating. And this goes on for like 4 fucking minutes. And he goes to eat some ramen. And then she sits down. The lolly ghost, that the ghost of his dead friend, sits on his dick, rubs her butt around on his dick.
Yes.
And he nuts and passes out. That's how this emotional, sad show begins, with a nut.
So in a 10 out of 10 way.
Yeah, basically. What I was trying to say is that the show's amazing, and you should watch it right now.
Also, you made me realize, so this show, it like Tatsuma Galaxy, it's about an incel, and like Love Lab, it is racist. Just Love Lab is racist against blacks.
Oh
and
my
Weeaboo is
god.
racist against Pen.
We only watch problematic shows in the Weeb Club.
Yeah, what's next? So
Kids on the Slope.
Oh, Kids on the Slope's about the gays, and that's
So
problematic.
it's just asking for it, yeah.
Yeah. I just really wanted to get that out because I remember loving this show. I used to have this show in my top 10 favorite anime of all time back in high school. And I watched this now as an adult. I watched this first opening scene where the main character gets off on a lolly butt from his dead ghost friend in the very first few minutes of the episode, and I think I was like immediately mad. I think I started ranting about it immediately, and I was like, fuck this show, why did I like it? That was all it took. Literally, that was all it took for me to realize that I was in for a fucking ride. And I was immediately disinterested for the rest of the episode. So then, like, I didn't have time to laugh when he, like, fucking fell off the thing and he, like, to go catch her. Because I was just so concerned about the fact that, like, they wouldn't shut the fuck up about anything. They would just say everything instead of letting you see it or experience it. And the fucking episode begins with him getting off onto the butt of his lolly ghost friend, who he's still mourning the death of. That's the show that you guys are like praising, guys. This is Mario Kata's masterpiece. You see, you guys just don't understand.
God. Okay, so when can we get to? Because I have a bunch of stuff I want to say about the show.
I do too.
But I don't want to dance around spoilers, so I just kind of want to get there.
Yeah, there's. I mean, like the show's kind of. What else is there to say? Like, I don't know. So yeah, spoilers. Anyway, go ham, Vindy.
Okay, so here's the main thing I want to say really quickly about the show. So like the whole kind of conceit of the show, and I mean, I guess I could have said this before, but I just like a large point in the show is the fact that Minma's dead and is, you know, this ghost lolly that's kind of giving everyone this way to work through their issues by communicating with someone who's already dead because they haven't moved on from their loss. But I think that's a really shitty and disingenuous way to show like loss and like someone having died. And I've talked to you about this before, Craftsdwarf. I think like media or art that is like intentionally like harmful as a worldview, because I mentioned it with Pun Pun, I think like doesn't have a place in the world. And I think that Anohana as a story about like if the story hadn't shifted more into selfishness in the last like 2 episodes, I think when it was mainly a show about these people dealing with a loss in their lives, I think it's really disingenuous because when somebody dies, you don't get that chance to talk to them again. So like the fact that it's all like them just reconciling their issues or it's them reconciling with Minmo over what they think they did wrong is like really disingenuous. And I actually think because of that, like the mom's death is handled better than Minma's death.
No, I don't agree with. I don't think either death was handled well at fucking all. This show is in my top 10 for years. Think about that. And I didn't even remember the fact that his mom was fucking dead. I forgot that there was a thing in this show until the show reminded me of it in a single line. And they reminded me of it later in another episode in a single line.
Right. And guess what? When somebody's been dead for 10 plus years, that's how it fucking is. It's just a fact of life. Like, I actually think that it's fucking good. Like, the fact that every day they kind of say a quick thing to her and she's there. And the fact that she died is a part of their lives, but it isn't this overwhelming aspect that takes over every facet of their beings is good. Because that's how it is when somebody dies. It's not like my entire life is that my dead ghost lolly friend who I'm in love with died. Like, no, shut the fuck up.
But like the show makes it a point that like the mom's death is what like it was like a domino effect. The mom's death and Menma's death was all what made him lose it, right? But they focus so much on fucking Menma's death, and then they go, oh, by the way, the mom's dead, and this is really important somehow. And it's important to his wish. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Why even mention it? Why are we even doing any of this? And it's just like, I feel like they were just trying to make you feel as bad as possible for these characters when there's better ways to do it. I want to fucking kill myself every time I think about it. Jesus. Fuck you. No, like, okay. I'm gonna make a video. Because I was gonna do this for Code Geass anyway. I'm gonna make a video like where like take what Anohana has given me and try to rework aspects of it to make it work. Like, you know, Belated Media's like Star Wars prequel series. Like, what if episode 1, 2, and 3 were good? Like, I just want to see like what improvements could be made because there's an obvious framework here that it's trying to work with, but it just doesn't do any of it, and would rather like focus on shit like. I dress up as my dead ghost lolly friend in the forest and run around. This is how I cope with her loss. This is how I do it.
Oh my god. He fucking takes the wig out of his closet like twice and just sniffs it. And it's like, how do you not laugh at this? How do you not Jeff, what the fuck how do you watch this and go not just fucking blessed? I don't understand.
Guys, I think Jeffrey Thu has a wig of one of his loved ones that he smells in his closet. I think that's what we're
Relatable.
insinuating here.
Oh god.
Craftsdwarf is not relatable. You shouldn't have said that. You've exposed yourself for the third time on this episode. Vinny's just been typing this whole time. He's very upset about something.
I'm not upset. Sorry, I was talking to a friend about something. I was actually telling a friend of mine. I was telling Jason actually what to listen to the Anohana episode when it's out.
Look, okay, if you want to do like a thing about like, because there's a lot of media where it's like coping with the death of like a loved one.
An example of one that we watched on the spiritual precursor to this Weeb Club, the old Weeb Club, was fucking Place Further in the Universe.
Yes.
It was a great show where that was one of the themes. And that's why I'm saying that I think Anohana is really disingenuous in that way. And I think that like because of that, it's just bad. And it actively made me, as someone who's lost someone very close to them in their lives, it made me legitimately mad the way the show handled and dealt with the loss of someone, because like it was just bullshit.
Because it ended up becoming about them. The entire show ended up becoming about them. It's like, oh man, my best friend's death. Man, it's more about me. What about me? What about my life? And I'm like, I don't. What? And like, there was that scene where like the mom was getting mad at them. It's like, why the fuck are you kids still doing this? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I mean, I guess, yeah, sure. Everybody's acting like they would talk about their friendship, right? They would talk about how cool everything they did was, and I never saw it, and I never believed it. I was like, because they would say like, "Oh, Juntan's the coolest. I remember how big his dick was. He was so cool. Look at how cool he was. Look at what an alpha Chad he was. He did everything great." And I was like, "Cool, thanks for telling me. Maybe you could have shown me so I could have experienced it."
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. The only two scenes we see of Juntan as a kid, like really, are like the scene where she tells him that when they see the flower, which we see like 2 or 3 times. And then there's the scene of that one, they even call it like a scene or a moment that was so important to all of them, where Jintan was, oh my God, a normal 6-year-old boy who can't admit that he likes a girl. What
great.
A fucking crime. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Any fucking 6-year-old boy who likes a girl is going to say that he doesn't like her.
These kids act like fucking kids. None of those kids act like fucking kids. I was like so fucking mad.
Except for Minma, who acts like a kid the whole show. But that's besides the point. And then, like, the fact that, like, look, I get that it's powerful to lose a friend when you're a kid, okay? Like, I've actually been there, but, like, whatever. Like, I get that affects you a lot. But if you love this girl when you are 6 years old, okay? Guess what? By the time you're 17, you will have probably forgotten about most of your memories with her, because you forget most of when you were fucking 5, 6 years old by the time you've grown up. Their entire lives would not be encompassed by this shitty dead ghost lolly. Like, holy fuck, dude. It's so dumb.
I believe in Popo's case, right? I believe it in Popo's case that he would remember her for the rest of his life.
Well, that's true, because he saw the dead body. Again, Popo's a good character.
Popo is a good well-written. I believe the aspect, because like apparently, Anohana Jintan was written out like about like Mario Kata's life, right, where she was like she gave up on life or something like that. And like in a sense, I could kind of believe, because once you like make the decisions to, because that's why I think the mom's death should have been emphasized more, because it would have been like a spiral, it was like a downward spiral. So then like, not only did he have to deal with the death, like the loss of his best friend, the girl that he liked. Immediately after that, he had to deal with his mom, and it was like this whole thing that like either like in some way just kind of like broke him as a person, and he stopped. Like in that case, I'd be like, fine, yeah, okay. But then they focus so much on like, I told her she was ugly, and then I ran out of the clubhouse, and that's why my life is ruined. I used to be up at Chadcock. I know, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said the other way. Like, I don't know, like, look, the only that's why Popo is so good. Sorry, I feel like Crossdressing has said this. I wanted to give him a chance to speak in a second, but like, I feel like the only reason, like the only person who can legitimately blame themselves for her death is Popo, because he saw her drowning and didn't do anything, which is also fair, because as a 5, 6-year-old, that would scare the shit out of you and you wouldn't know what to do. So I buy Popo's story completely. every other character is fucking retarded for blaming themselves for her death.
I have like a comparison I'm gonna make, but I'm gonna wait till Craftsdwarf says his thoughts real quick. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think the show would have been massively improved if Menma actually was the hallucination, because that solves
Holy shit.
everything.
Yes, that's one of the ways.
I was hoping that Mario Kata would have the balls to throw that out there and just like he's a hallucination. I was hoping that was what would happen because that would be so much better. Yeah,
because like that solves Vindy's issue with it, or like with them talking about, because then if it's all in Jinta's head, then she's not really there, and then you can still have some of it at least, like not everything obviously, but then because the issue I had the show when I first watched it is how the pen shit is frustrating because like they explain it that like Jinta, like, oh, he wants to keep Menma to himself, so that I guess solves that, but that Menma wanted to interact with everyone, and yet she's so fucking stupid that she can't think of she fucking made food. She like
she was lifting objects and shit.
The pen doesn't work. What? It worked 3 seconds ago.
Okay, so for context, the moment we're talking about is the entire 8 episodes of this fucking stupid show. They're like, I don't believe men was real. I think you're hallucinating.
Yeah, and it
I'm
makes
gonna
sense
punch
for,
you.
yeah. And it makes sense for Jinta to like not like be,
Yeah.
but then once Menma
and then the entire show Menma's like, and then Menma the entire show's like, I want to interact with them, but I can't. I can cook food, I can lift object, I can turn on lights, but I cannot talk. It's
like, I can't talk to them. I guess I better give up.
And then she realizes in episode 8 that pens are a thing.
Yeah, she writes on the diary and she's like, look, I'm real. And she like throws the book around and everyone's like, whoa, well, the book moved. And then, oh, there's words in it. It's Menma's
But then all of a sudden she couldn't write. She couldn't write on any paper except the diary, because you see the diary was magic paper. The magic paper has the ability to
No, because she wrote on the wall, like on the beam where they wrote Super Peace Busters Forever. Super Peace Busters. She also wrote Our Friends Forever. So she could write on other surfaces. But for some reason, in that one scene, she couldn't write on other paper.
And that's the only fucking time that, because these characters have the fucking collective intelligence of a 6-year-old, like together, like an actual 6-year-old is smarter than all of them combined.
Here's my fix that I wanted to do. Like, if you were gonna make Menma, you have 2 choices. Like, either make her an actual hallucination and then do all of that, and like make it like a secret. Like, you see that the bread's being made, like, and all that.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, that would be the twist. Like, Jinta made it, obviously. Like, he heard the advice and he made it better. But
it'd be some Fight Club shit. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Fight Club thing.
Or you could do the second option, which I was going to say, is that make her a ghost, sure, but she can't interact with the world. And the only way she can interact with the world is if she writes in the diary, because the diary like connects them all. That would be like
magic. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
That would be more consistent logic. But they just fucking... This is the case where, like, yeah, there's themes, but then the logic contradicts, like, the effectiveness of said themes. Because then it's like, I cannot can interact with you. Only Jinta can see me, but I can interact with the world, but I'm not going to. And also,
but no, because she can interact with everyone at the end. Remember, they all see her and hear her. Oh my god!
See, that moment would have paid off more if she couldn't interact with the world, and then only when they were together could they see. In the final moments, could they see her?
Yeah.
You know what I hate? You're completely right, but that moment still made me fucking cry.
Dude, no, I hate it. No, that whole episode, because like the first time I watched it, the Popo coming to like explaining his whole backstory, that like got me emotion build up, and then Anaru and what's her face, the girl who's boring, they started crying, and I fucking bust out laughing, and that happened this time too. Like, except that it was even more extreme because I was like getting teary-eyed at Popo, and then I fucking bust out laughing when they cried. Then like, yeah, well, okay, I think what ruined me especially was because they started playing hide and seek, and like this comes out of nowhere, and because the kid thing again, because I guess I got it in my head, like a joke, that Menma wasn't actually dead. She's just been playing hide and seek for 10 years. And that thought was funny as shit to me. But also, it was getting me, like,
guys. My dad didn't actually die that day. I was just hanging out in the forest the whole time.
That would have been better than the show we watched.
Right. So they're like, so every time like the hide and seek would come out, I would fucking bust out laughing, but also like I was getting emotional at them, finally overcoming the, because they did, if I find you, it's over. We can't play anymore. That kind of, because especially the shot with she was kind of transparent and you saw the sun behind her and like. She has to vanish so they can finally have a new day. Basically, like that kind of shit.
Like those were the shots I thought were good. Like all the shots in that scene when they're in that forest, and like there's the one tree in the center that's like kind of Minma, and the way it's placing them around the thing. I always thought all those shots were really good, but everything else was just bland visually.
Could you guys imagine, right? Like if it was what Craftsdwarf said, and she's just actually just hiding out and playing hide and seek. Could you imagine, right? They go in there and they finally see her body, and then one of them just goes, "Bruh."
You found me, and what? And that's just the end of the show.
They don't even say what. They don't even say what. They just go.
Starts playing.
No. They don't even say what. They just go, "Bruh." The show fucking ends.
Oh yeah, another part that like was also part of the like emotional parts that got me was when they found the letters. That's another thing she wrote on. That wasn't the diary that she wrote on.
There was pages of
those were diary pages. Those are pages she tore off.
Stupid idiot! You haven't even 4, Eureka fag.
Can't believe Craftsdwarf didn't watch the show.
Sad. Twice. I didn't watch the show twice.
I watched the show twice and I regret it. See,
sad.
I think the biggest part that made me angry about this was like, it makes me angry because I used to love this show. I used to defend this show to death because I heard these same criticisms and I defended the shit out of them because I used to love this show. And I was like, this is in my top 10. This is like a show that like, it's made me cry, so it was good. And it was like, I would love this show to death. And then now I watched it and I've seen other things that do it better. And I'm going to use, I know Crossdressing's not going to agree with me, maybe or maybe not. A better way to have done this was what they did in Your Lie in April with the mom, right?
Oh, we should watch that show next.
It's too long, you stupid idiot.
You stupid idiot.
Damn it.
It's
I
like
haven't seen it, but the girl's hot.
Gotcha Crowds is 12 episodes. Gotcha Crowns Inside is another 12 episodes, you dumbass.
God damn.
But
oh my god.
We could do is we could just watch season 1 and watch season 2. But know, fuck you. Anyway, so my point is right. In Your Lie in April, the whole thing is that like is he's dealing with the mother's death. But it's not just like, but the mother's death was like integral to everything that he is. And then all of a sudden she just dies and he blames himself. That's what this show was trying to do, but it couldn't because it was too focused on. I was running through the forest dressed up as my dead lolly girlfriend. And that's how I cope with things. Why is Vindy muted right now? Very disappointed.
I didn't want everyone on stream to hear my typing.
Then can just remove it when he edits.
Oh my god, you're so right. But I don't want to put more work on that.
Then Manji, what do you mean, sweet boy? Have you seen him?
He's not black, so I don't want to work on my forever.
Okay, we were the racists the whole time.
That's why we watched Love Lab.
That's why we liked Love Lab. Yeah.
Yeah, that explains it.
Oh my god. No, but like, oh my god, is like Anohana is like it. I don't even remember. The Glasses Girls' motivations came out of nowhere in the episode where they all start crying.
I thought it was, well, I mean, okay, like, I kind of agree and kind of don't. Because, like, it's obvious the whole time she likes,
but she doesn't, she likes
the cross-dresser, right?
Yeah,
like, that's obvious the whole time.
It's obvious, but it's just kind of like, when they start talking about their things, it's almost like, why didn't you just like show that? Like, you know what would have been great? What would have been great was like, instead of them all just like confessing like that, right? Like all out of the fucking blue, we have like these moments, like throughout the show where like he interacts with them, and as he interacts with them, they start talking about, oh, it reminds me of the old, like, oh, and starts bringing up memories of them, and then we start seeing these memories instead of just they talk about it. Did you know? Do you remember that one time we were playing with Mama? Oh, it was always like this. Oh, and we all followed behind Jintan because Jintan's so cool. Jintan's so cool. Jintan's so cool. And it was just, it's like,
I think, well, like if they focused more on the childhood, it would have leaned more into, because it's that like the stunted child thing. Like Naru, especially, like she she tried to grow like with the Love Hotel thing. She's like obviously still a child, but the way she like dresses and the crowd she hangs out with, she's trying to act more mature, but she obviously isn't that. So like, but if they had juxtaposed with the child, yeah, we would have seen more of that with everyone else too.
It was spreading itself too thin for an 11 episode package that expected you to feel things, and it makes you feel things for some reason. Mario Kata's a fucking evil genius because she made me cry even though I hated it.
What the fuck? It's a miracle. Like how? I don't.
That's some crazy fucking
like, I was
Nihongo
laughing.
magic.
Like I would go from like I said, I would go from laughing to crying in like seconds, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like that's why I like because before I gave this a 4 out of 10 because I was just bored, but I had to give it a 5 just out of bafflement because I've never had an experience like that last episode where I'm just like back and forth.
I'm surprised you have the highest score now.
I know. Well,
I used to have the highest score.
Well, but that's used to. That's old WattheWut who made 3 videos on Digibro, so we're not talking about him anymore.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Actually, that's probably back to elitist weeb basher hanging out on iFunny. So
who is that? I don't know who that is. You see, Vindy, you were trying to expose me, but you have no evidence or proof.
No. I haven't exposed you for your war crimes yet. We haven't talked about how you killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand. That's later. That's my video I'm working on.
You know I only want exposed videos for clout and subs, right? Oh my god, you have Menma in your room?
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to say actually, because you mentioned how like, it would have been better if Menma was a hallucination. I actually thought that was the route it could have gone up until the episode where they all saw her, because like before that, right? I was expecting like in like one of the last episodes, like they finally get through to him that he hasn't got, because like I thought the show was going to be about how the main character hasn't gotten over Menma. And so they were finally going to get through to him, and it was going to be like a flashback of like him doing all the shit that he said Menma was doing, right? It was be him cooking the food and him doing all this shit.
Yeah.
And then there's the episode where they all realize Menma's alive, and it just like completely killed the show for me. Like that was the moment where the show was just unsavable.
Are you serious? That's how long it took you? The moment for me was when his ass was running through the fucking forest dressed up as a girl. I was like, no one copes with a death like that. There is no one on this earth who would do that. No one.
I mean, you're totally right. But I think if Menma had been Jintan's hallucination the whole time, that would have been so respectable as a play that like I would have just had to like give Anohana some credit for that. And been like, yeah, like that was pretty sick. It would have been the most obvious twist in existence, but it still would have been something more interesting than what if the show had any twists at all. It was that Popo just ran away when he saw dead Ghost Lolly dying.
That came out of like that was like the whole confession scene to me, like it did. And when I watched it originally, it made me fucking bawl my ass out. When I watched it now, the only reason I cried is because Popo said his shit. That was the only reason. Otherwise, he's
good as fuck.
Yeah, that's always like emotionally, like that's the one that's strong, because there's nothing wrong with that one. Where it's like with the later one that's also got me to cry. It's like again, that's really but then the fucking girls ruin the Popo one because they fucking start crying and it's funny for some reason.
It's just stupid because they're like, I was jealous of Menma because I wanted Jintan's dick. Well, I was jealous of Jinta because Menma wanted his dick. Well, I was jealous of Anaru because you wanted Menma's dick, and then you could also dick Anaru. Wait, that's stupid. And then Popo's like, I saw her dead body. I saw her floating down the river. Gonna do anything about it. And then they start crying because they're like, I'm very upset that Menma wanted Jinta's dick. I'm very upset that Menma wanted Jintan's dick. I'm very upset that Crossdresser wanted Menma's pussy. I'm like,
oh, I did like the scene. I don't even remember her name. The fucking Sudoku, right? Shit.
That was her name. Yeah, Sudoku.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm proud of you. I want to applaud.
I actually fucking remembered her name. Magic. Anyway, I did like that. Well, because there was the 2 girls who were, one of them liked Yuki, and she's just like, oh yeah, he's into cross-dressing, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, that was fine.
Dude, that was so fucking savage. She just calls him out to those 2 girls. She
fucking murdered him, yeah. And then
I would have grabbed her arm. I probably would have done more than grab her arm. She fucking called him out for his look. the worst scene in that show isn't even when he's running through the forest dressed as a ghost lolly. It's when he's holding her wig in his hand and like talking to it, just stroking her hair.
Being best, right?
Vinny, that's
I
one of
was
the top
like,
10
what
worst scenes in this
the
entire show.
What am I watching? Like
In my-
he's holding the wig as a head and he's like tying to it, stroking the hair. I'm like, you're a fucking weirdo, dude.
Like I feel like
you have a girl who has no personality who wants to bone you, and she's too good for you, dude.
listen, Vinny. I want someone to re-edit Anohana. Instead of being like the sad show about like kids getting over like the death of a friend, I want someone to recontextualize this show to be a horror movie about insane people. Because this would work so fucking well as a horror movie about insane people.
Yeah.
It is basically, but like all you have to do is some
It turned
clever
out the
editing.
whole time Yuki killed Memba so he could have her all to herself.
They all, except for Jintan and
Yeah,
Yukiatsu, planned to
alright,
kill.
guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to my Anohana rewrite. Here's the actual. Jinta's like insane. In his mind, he still sees the ghost of his dead lolly girlfriend and looks and is constantly reminding her, says every day that he can see her, but no one else can see her. He starts cooking like little snacks, his little bread. And he keeps saying, Menma did it. Menma wanted this. Meanwhile, it turns out that whatever the cross-dresser boy, he's the one who he saw, like, Menma died because it was him. He pushed her down the hill. And he skinned her and took her hair and wears it now as a wig and dresses up as her and runs through the forest dressed up as her to relive the feeling of being the one he loves. But meanwhile, Popo saw this. Popo saw this sick crossdresser scalp his best friend as she was sitting in the water, but he didn't do anything to stop it. He didn't do anything to stop it. See, he just ran away, and that's why he ran away. See, with clever editing, now it's great. Now this show's great.
Well, like, the problem is just that nobody in the show except for Popo is a real I know you made fun of it, but like nobody is a character that I buy outside of they service the plot except for Popo.
I think Anoru is somewhat believable. Right?
Yeah, no, she like I was.
Y'all are just saying that because she's hot, and I'm gonna agree with you.
I am
'cause she's
saying
hot.
that, but yeah, she is somewhat like one. She is one of the better written characters. Like aside from Popo, it's her.
She is, but like she still has her fair share of bullshit.
Actually, no. I take that back. The little brother is one of the best characters in the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually like Minma's family. Even her mom, I think, kind of makes sense, and I buy
Yeah, that was great because it was like that. If anybody had the right to suffer, it was them.
Yeah, Minma's family is good. I like Minma's family. I like Popo. Like those are characters that like I buy. But I think
it is kind of
everyone
ridiculous.
else-
Like when you say it like that the friends were more affected than Menma's fucking family. You know.
Yeah,
like it could have been this whole thing about how we go around to every and see that like their lives have been like in some way, shape, or form have been affected by this, and this is their way of coping with it. And there's not just like stupid childish things like when it gets to the family, because the family bit was the best part about it. Like the mom was the one who's like she wanted to forget it most of all. And like, even though the dad was made out to be the asshole, it was actually he's doing it for the betterment of the mom. And it's
the
like
dad is the best character in the show. Actually, I completely forgot about him, which is funny because I say he's the best character. I actually think Minma's dad is like the most reasonable, understandable character in the show.
The moment where he's like, "We have to grieve for her as a family." That was like, yes, there we go.
I clap.
And then we got back to. I was so jealous of Menma because she wanted Jinta's dick. Like if they were 10, maybe. Like if they were 10, yeah. Like in Your Line April, like he was 10. He was 10. So like if they were 10, maybe this would have been like a little bit better, right? I guess.
Yeah, but they were what, like 6, 7,
6
8
years old, and they're talking as if they were like adults, like with Anaru and Yukiatsu, that was his name, Yukiatsu were planning a fucking coup. Like this was the fucking government. This was the fucking government overthrow of Jinta and Menma wanting to bone being 6 years old. And I'm like, what is happening? And then like, here comes like Sudoku doing Black Ops, going to Menma herself, going like, bro, they're gonna snitch. And Menma's like, do it, no balls. This wasn't the reason why Menma let it happen. Is like maybe Jintan will cry now. He will cry, and then his mom will be happy. And I'm like, what? What?
Menma was a real sociopath. She pretended to be dead and played hide and seek for 10 years.
Dude, someone rewrite this. Rewrite Anohana to be a fucking horror story about insane people. I want to see that.
It already is a horror story about insane people, except the only ones who are fucking dealing with any horror are the people watching it.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know, the characters are all unlikable dickweeds, except for but Menma's supposed to be cute, and so you're supposed to like her. Maybe I don't know.
She's like the worst designed lolly I've ever. One of the worst lollies I've ever.
Yeah, well, like, or you know, she's like, she grew up, but she didn't. So she like, but it's yeah.
She has like I don't know something about it's just plain. She's dumb. The only good character. There's only 2 good character designs, and it's Anaru, Popo. And I'm like, cool. Everyone else is just like it's like they slapped them together. Yay!
But yeah, I've said everything good, and like, yeah, the fucking pen shit made me so mad. I practically made a video about it.
You should make. Let's make a video. All collectively, the 3 of us should just make a video about Anohana. Let's just do it.
Because we all literally are right now. It's called the Weeb Club episode 3 on Anohana.
I know this isn't a video technically, but I'm saying we should write a video, like, and attack it from some angle.
Work.
Yeah, I would need. So I think Anohana. I don't feel strongly enough about this show to make a video on it. Because like, here's the thing, right? Like, I think like actually like. The fact that like the main theme of the show became selfishness more than anything else, I thought was actually better than when it was just about loss, right? Because like that was the biggest problem, right? Was all these people, and like I think there could be like an argument someone could make against everything we're saying. We're like, yeah, but like the problem they all are saying is that all these people were way too selfish, and that was kind of the point of the show in the end. Was that all these people were way too selfish? The problem with that, though, is the show.
So Anaru was a shrimp. Yuki was a lobster. No, anyway, go on. I don't know.
The problem was though the show spent its entire run
dealing with loss
until episode 10. It was about the loss of Minma and how that affected them, and immediately after. This short little stint, actually it was episode 11 really is when they talked about selfishness, and it was immediately up until that, and then they had the conversation about how they were all being selfish, and immediately after that it went back to being about Minma's loss. So like the problem was the climax of the show was about the emotional, like, or not the emotional, but like the climax of the show in terms of everyone's character arcs was about selfishness, but it all came out of nowhere. Where instead of it being like, we're trying to get over the loss of our friend, it was, we're all being selfish. And then it immediately jumps back to, okay, now we're trying to get over the loss of our friend. And it was just really dumb. And it was like kind of shoehorned in there. It's like, this is what the show's about, when the show was really about loss the whole time.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere. Like, because one thing they brought up earlier was, Menma thinks of everyone, but Jinta also thinks of everyone a lot. Like, because one thing I was kind of noticing was that I felt like Jinta was like a less extreme version of everyone else in a sense. Maybe not everyone else, but I kept having that vibe. Like with Menma, Menma thought of everyone else the most, and Jinta also thought of everyone else a lot, but not quite. And then Yuki wanted Menma to it himself, so he cross-dressed in the woods. And Jinta also, like, that's why he didn't tell anyone, or he kind of told people about Menma, but didn't like prove it, even though it would have been easy, because that's what they explained it after with the pen shit was Jinta wanted. Yeah, so that's one thing I was noticing. But like, what were you gonna say? What?
Okay, I want to rant about Jinta because Jinta's like, he's the most frustrating because like all they ever do is talk about how cool he used to be. They never show it. They never let you feel it.
All you ever talk about is how they always talk. No, anyway, go on.
No, but seriously, that's all they fucking do. The entire show. The first episode, he goes, he sees Yukiatsu. He goes, if things have gone better, I could have went to that school, but look at me now. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you cunt. Asshole dick piece of shit. I'm like, a good example, I'm gonna bring up Anima Kosei from Your Lie in April again, because his whole thing is that he was a prodigy. Everybody knew he was a prodigy, but because of the death of his mom, he fucking spiraled down. He couldn't deal with it anymore. But like, they don't talk about it, they show it and talk about it. They make you see what you lost. I don't know what I fucking lost with Jensen because he's such an annoying prick who keeps talking about how cool he used to be. He was one of those kids who took the special classes. He took the gate test and like was really cool. He used
What
to
the
be in
fuck
the
is the
chess
gate
club.
test?
Never mind.
Only what would know because he's the special one who took it.
Right?
Right? Am I wrong? I fucking nailed it.
I'm now announcing I'm leaving the Weeb Club, guys. I'm sorry. These two are toxic. and I hate
We'll
them.
start a special Weeb Club that you can join. We'll
You know what?
I
You know what,
special-
Craftsdwarf?
Gotta be inclusive.
Craftsdwarf, you know what?
Weeb Club EX.
I bet you were like the nostalgia critic in high school, wearing those fucking fedoras, going around.
No,
He doesn't
but
wear a
bet you-
fedora.
yeah.
Are you fucking stupid?
no, I wasn't.
Craftsdwarf,
There was.
Craftsdwarf 100% seems like the kind of person who wear a fedora.
I hang
Yeah,
out at
but
the table.
the
that
nostalgia critic doesn't wear a fedora.
Have you seen that picture of him in high school? He was wearing a fedora.
Oh, you mean in high? I thought you were talking about him in fucking.
You are a
his
stupid
videos.
asshole.
I never
Okay, I
wore
want
a
to hear what
fedora,
table he sat at.
but I hung out at the like awkward nerd table where the people who
see?
wore fedoras would have hung
You
out.
see? We are proving
So-
ourselves. Namanji, right now I want you to show the picture of nostalgia critic in high school. The one where it's like, if you look at this picture also,
I'll
you'll
post it.
notice
I'll
that there's
post
like
it.
you'll notice there's like a stain. There's like a weird like liquidy stain on the picture too. It's a little disturbing. It's a little bothersome when you see it. But also now I want you to replace nostalgia critic's face with Craftsdwarf's.
Oh, great! First Big Mom and now Nostalgia Critic. Okay.
Okay,
Are you talking about this one?
yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Craftless-
guys, that's Jintan,
Dwarf.
guys. It's fucking Jintan.
Yeah. God, he's such a piece of shit. I do like the scene where he's working like 3 jobs though, and
Yeah,
Minma's
then
kind of
Minma
like, "Wow,
goes,
he's cool." 'Cause, like,
Jintan's
thing
the
about her-
coolest.
The thing about her calling him cool there, though, is at least we actually see him doing something for other people.
Yeah,
like,
it's the
at
first
least
time we
he's
ever
working
see
these
something
2
happen.
jobs. Right. But that's what I'm saying is that's why I think that scene is like good because like we actually see what they're talking about when they call Jintan cool, as opposed to just he was so cool I wanted to fuck him. It's like, okay, shut the fuck up, Honor. Fuck me instead. I'm actually cool.
I want you now to post a picture of Vindy, aka Sid the Rat.
Also, wait, one thing I don't understand is that they couldn't say Pokemon. They had to use Nokemon, which is like a ripoff. But they could say One Piece.
Oh my god. I
Because Honor
forgot
It's
about the Pokemon that they had to play Pokemon Yellow.
I think
and catch
Nintendo's gonna
Mew.
take that line down.
I guess Nintendo is more of a stickler about that shit than Shueisha. So
They
Apparently.
definitely are. They definitely
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Dude, they were talking about One Piece, and the dude was like, "Guys, I'm gonna go watch some One Piece." You know what I'm saying? And he goes outside, and Anunu's like, "Wait, this isn't One Piece." He's like,
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that scene. The best scene in the show when Anaru almost gets raped, and she's like, "You can't have sex with me. One Piece is on, bro." It's like One Piece is on for 2 more days. It's rape time. I was like, "What a chat."
What is okay? Actually, now you mention it, is like, what is? Because now I'm thinking about Hiro from Inuyashiki, and I'm like, what's with these fucking sick motherfuckers who like one? Oh no, I look in the mirror and I'm like, no.
"It's a good thing
No,
that I
it's-
think
it-
Bleach
it's-
is
it's
better
not-
than both Naruto and One
Okay,
Piece."
so I'm gonna sidetrack to Inuyashiki really quickly and why that one happened, and we can just apply it to everything else that brings up One Piece and SJA people. With Inuyashiki, the reason that the main character hates One Piece but likes Gantz is because the author of Inuyashiki, like the mangaka, when he finished Gantz, it got railed. The ending of it did on 2chan because it was terrible. And 2chan likes One Piece because One Piece is good.
Yeah,
And-
because one thing that got cut from the anime, I think, or maybe it was there. Maybe it was there. The daughter, she had a thing where she like hung out with Oda's son, and she wanted to write a manga that would like defeat One Piece, and like that's kind of how the series ends. Is she's like trying to get published, And so, like, the author has, he has a fucking major hate boner against One Piece because he fucking makes the main antagonist who's
Yeah.
like fucking
Right.
murders people for fun. Oh yeah, I like One Piece. Who's your favorite character? Oh,
But
that chapter
he's
was so
deep.
good.
Well, no, because he's deep because he understands that Gantz is good and everyone else on Earth is stupid and likes One Piece. But he's such a deep character because he has Gantz posters in his room and knows how good Gantz is, and that's why the manga has like this whole section where he just kills everyone on 2chan.
Oh,
Because
that's
that was the
right.
author
Oh my
getting
god.
out his frustration with 2chan for not liking Gantz. So I'm just convinced anytime anyone who's a shitty person likes One Piece, it's that author being mad that people like
I
One
can't
Piece
believe
more than their
Mario
work.
Kata doesn't like One Piece. What the fuck?
One Piece had better ratings than Toradora, and it was all over after that.
Yeah. Yo, so like in this scene, what was originally gonna happen is like this guy was gonna go, hey, yo, Anado, I'm gonna use my gum pistol in your ass. We're gonna
Oh my god!
I got a gum pistol with some I got a Anaru. I'm gonna
He had
give
to
some
use his
Anaru
arm
my
in
gum
hockey
pistol.
first.
Okay, we need to end this episode. This has gone too far.
Look, Anohana is literally one of the horniest things about Lost that I've ever fucking seen, unironically, and it's scary. It's terrifying.
What? I have a serious question for you.
All right, what's the question?
Do you think Minmo wore underwear underneath her dress?
Asking the real question.
I think they were dirty after what happened in episode 1. You know what I'm saying?
We really need to end it. Thank you for listening.
We have to give our ratings, guys. We have to give our ratings.
Yeah, that's
we
your final
really need to
thoughts.
Thank you, because how have you made it this far? Why am I going to recommend this on
this
my
was
channel? What
one
the
of
fuck
the
have we
be-
done?
Hold on, this is one of the best episodes of the Weeb
Look,
Club we've
listen,
recorded.
listen,
I have had a
here's the
great
thing.
time tonight.
Listen, Craftsdwarf. Here's the thing. We're completely justified in doing this as a horny joke because the show is a fucking horny joke. Okay, this show just has no fucking chill. And the man was about to rape her instead of watching One Piece. He gets
One Piece was on 2 days from now. He lied
Yeah,
about
2 days,
One
whatever.
Piece being on.
He was about Anaru's ass is shown multiple times because
it's
haha
so good.
Anaru. Menma literally rubs her ass on Jintan's dick until he fucking comes and passes out. And that's how the first episode starts. The man is cross-dressing as his dead lolly girlfriend and runs to the forest and smells her hair. This show is the horniest show about dealing with loss I've ever fucking seen. So yes, we are 100% justified in treating the show the way we are.
Okay, ratings, go. I already gave mine, so I'll start. Like I said before, when I watched it, I gave it like a light 4 because it was mostly boring. I almost hated it, but I didn't quite. Now I have to give it a light 5 because it's still boring, but it also like it's funny and it made me cry. And what the fuck? Anyway, go someone who's not me.
Go.
I gave the show a 4. I think it's boring for most of it. I think that the idea of it being selfish is kind of well done in some cases. I think that the shit in terms of dealing with loss is disingenuous as fuck and kind of a toxic idea. And I think that the show made me cry, but it definitely didn't deserve it. It was just that the ED was, which we never brought up. The song for the ED was really good and brings out like emotions in you. And then
Oh, and they always start it before the like. I do like it that in general when like the ED song starts while the episode is still like ending, and then it goes into actual ED. So they do that all the time. So but yeah.
So like the use of the ED was good, and like I think that was part of the reason why I cried. And the last episode has some shit that like makes like it's definitely a cry-bait show, and it made me cry. I don't think the rest of the show deserved to make me cry. It's just I'm a little bitch. So I gave it a 4 because it was not good.
I used to have this show at a 9 out of 10. Oh, it went from a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. And now sitting here 2019, I have given this show a 3 out of 10 because I fucking cannot stand the fact that I used to like this show and it's frustrating. And it's like the things that are good about it almost make me angrier that they're in this show. Honestly, that's very, and the fact that I cried and I was in the middle of my college campus when when I was watching the last episode, it made me even angrier. So now it's sitting at a 3 out of 10. And the only reason why it's sitting below Code Geass is funnier.
I'm legitimately happy that all of us are cried at the show, but are mad that we cried. Like that's the fucking. I think that is the perfect way to just.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect way to describe Anohana. Is I cried, but I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how this is the horniest episode. It's more horny than the Love Lab episode, and it's all the show's fault.
Well, because Love Lab was an actual good show, so we had things to talk about. But with this show, the thing that got me thing that made me keep going was I was like, I can see more Honoru if I turn on another episode. I was like, they'll show her ass 3 times.
So,
this episode,
okay,
I'll
so
turn it on.
I'm gonna tell before we end the show. I'm gonna tell you the plot of a doujin that I once read about Anohana. So here's what
And
happened.
thank you for listening
And
to
now.
Club.
Memma came back from the
Follow
dead.
me on Twitch, twitch.tv/VindyBondo.
Memma came back from the dead because apparently, like, she didn't pass on after the last episode of Anohana. So then now she just wants a baby for some reason. So her and Jinta have sex every day.
All right, guys, serving me to what the what. Before he goes, thank you guys for watching the Weeb Club. Y'all were great.
Alone, aka Kids on the Slope, is next time.
We love y'all.
Unfollow and unsubscribe from what? Thank you.
I mean, like,